well located in areas such as Brufut, Sukuta, Lamin Kerawan and Tanji, close to the Camel Safari and opposite the river. The properties have all access to good road networks, electricity supply and water. Our payment terms are flexible and prices affordable.
This is Universal Properties. We urge all Gambians to come on board. We are reliable, reasonable and cheap because we want to make home affordable to every Gambian.
Visit Universal Properties today on FIB building along the Keraba Avenue. Universal Properties, the most experienced real estate company in the Gambia.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الحمد لله رب العالمين الحمد لله رب العالمين الحمد لله رب العالمين. Your Excellency Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Your Excellency fellow heads of state and government, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, it is with immense joy and pride that I congratulate my brother, His Excellency Dr. Goodluck Jonathan, the government and the valiant people of Nigeria, Federal Republic of Nigeria, on the auspicious occasion of your centenary celebrations. Let me also use this occasion to convey our deep condolences, not only on behalf of my government and my humble self, but on behalf of the entire population of the Gambia for the tragic loss of young, precious lives at the hands of terrorists and extremists. My delegation appreciates the warm hospitality and excellent facilities put at our disposal for this all-important event. I wish to express our gratitude to the government and people of Nigeria for taking this bold and Pan-Africanist initiative to host a summit on such a critical and long overdue theme at this crucial milestone in the evolution of Nigeria as a geopolitical powerhouse and in our common journey as Africans, about more than half a century since the advent of independence from colonial domination. I commend Nigeria for the leadership role this great country has been playing in our pursuit of peace and security in Africa, especially in the ECOWAS sub-region. I recall that in May 2013, on the occasion of the 50th anniversary of the OAU-AU, we set ourselves the goal of ending all wars on the continent by 2020. It was during these celebrations in Addis Ababa that I proposed a decade of peace and reconciliation in Africa, and my government continues to advocate for this position because there cannot be any lasting peace in Africa if we do not reconcile our differences in a peaceful and harmonious manner. I am happy to note that the authority of heads of state and government of the AU have adopted this proposal for a decade of reconciliation. Therefore, it is indeed fitting that Nigeria has chosen such an apt theme as human security, peace and development for this summit. I take particular note of the fact that the sub-theme of security is qualified with the human element because in a world that seems to be confused in its priorities, with some prioritizing the security and welfare of animals over that of human beings, it is about time that we as Africans set our priorities right. Human security cannot be attained if we do not go back to basics and reconnecting with our cultural and religious values. As Africans, we have a golden treasure trove of cultural values that can sustain and enhance our security as a race, existing harmoniously amongst ourselves and also with others. Therefore, we must reinforce our cultural renaissance by redefining our priorities both in terms of the content of educational curricula and the values we live for as individuals, societies, and nations. I am glad to note that Nigeria happens to be one such country that is proud of her heritage and serves as an example for the whole world. Your Excellencies, it is my ardent belief that negative external forces and influences mainly jeopardize the peace and security of our continent. It still baffles me that rebels on this continent that is associated with abject poverty are armed with the latest, most expensive weaponry when our school-going children cannot get their basic educational tools in spite of lip service from world powers that pretend to care so much for our well-being that they emphasize the right of a tiny minority bent on defying the laws of the Almighty Creator over the welfare of Allah-fearing majority that chooses to live according to their cultural and religious values. As I stated during the last Elysee Summit in Paris, quote, poverty can only be eradicated under a peaceful and secure environment. Therefore, we should all continue to nurture the seeds of peaceful coexistence. Let me hasten to add here the need for a sharper focus on food security as well in an increasingly dynamic and challenging global economic environment. Food security is indispensable to national security. This being the case, regaining Africa's lost glory can only come about when we take full control of our Allah-given natural resources, process and sell them as finished products instead of continuing to export them as raw materials. Your Excellencies, for this to happen, we must embark on industrialization, noting that it was a combination of the looting of Africa's natural resources and industrialization that propelled colonial empires out of abject poverty into affluence. Economic prosperity for the entire African continent can only be achieved if we come together united and speak with one voice, ensuring that our resources are appropriated according